Big up, everybody. I have already recorded this installation, and in my review of it, don't look at all the answers. In my review, I realized I dropped a huge missing link. I missed a huge connection point. So I'm putting it in the beginning because I'm a horrible editor. I'm just going to give this to you guys in advance before you get into the grind here. I forgot to mention the very, very, very important 93 of Neptunium. Neptunium is 93 on the periodic table. So when we get into, in just a moment, you're going to see the RC of King Charles. The 9 and the 3 is the RC of the Rosicrucian order, giving him the position of a 3 right here with Poseidon. So that's, I'm kind of stealing my own thunder, but I got to put this forward because I totally forgot this crucial link in the deciphering of his official royal cipher. And, oh my gosh, let's see, NP. There is a huge episode coming forward where we're going to talk about the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. We're going to talk about that here pretty soon, and how this all relates to a psyop that is an eclipse ritual. It's totally an eclipse ritual. Man, I have the worst handwriting. You guys are so gracious to keep coming back. All right. Much love and respect, everybody. I hope you dig the Grandmaster Thesis. And without further ado or pomp and circumstance, drum roll, please. Brrr. Hail, hail, dissidents. Give thanks to the elders. Give praise to the children. It's been a wild ride today. I have really been having fun with this project. And I did not even realize that while I was making this entire project, the eclipse was actually happening. The partial solar eclipse took place while I was decoding and uploading. It was such a wild day. It was such a wild day. So much was coming into full perspective. I am really just reeling. So I got a lot of information to get out, a whole lot of information to get out, and not a lot of room on this little board to share it. But I want to start with King Charles' official cipher. This is the stamp, the seal that he will place on all of his decrees, and all the things that he touches will be marked with this official cipher. And the cipher is very simplistic. It's incredibly simplistic. And I think I was saying earlier that, you know, the Enneagram is like the most complex hypersigil I've ever seen. And I might put this official cipher pretty darn close. It's a close second. It is nothing more than a very large R for Rex, and and a C. I think it's just encompassed with the C. I'm fucking it up. And there's 3, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. And then there's a crown, a corona on top. So very simplistic. And I did mention earlier, or in the very end of my last video, so the R is for Rex. That is for the rex. X is the 10, R is the 9, 3, 6, 9. So if it's rex, right, that's the retrograde, and the C is the 3. And it gives you a 9, a 6, and a 3. This is the Council of Foreign Relations. CFR is more directly, that is the 3, 6, 9 code that we are dealing with when we address the Enneagram. So the RXC of Rex Charles is laying claim to the 3, the 6, and the 9, the central trident, the central triplicity. Now, one thing I forgot to mention over here, with the X being the Hecate of the 6s, and the hex equaling 24 that equals the 6. Also, X in Greek equals the 10, which the 10 commandments we talked about. You flip it around and you get the net. I completely missed that detail earlier today. So again, reinforcing the net of all the people who believe in this Apollonian population of alphabet worshippers, keeping things orderly in a patriarchal A comes before B, comes before C, comes before. All those linear thinkers are over here with the loyalists. They are staying loyal to the alphabet agencies. And 50% of the world population is over here caught in the net with the X of Hecate and the 10 commandments of the law. All the loyalists, so loyal to the law and so unwilling to take liberties with the spelling of words and the bending and tweaking of the parameters of the spells that have been cast. And part of what has set my mind free is taking many, many liberties. I might as well just say the fact that I'm such a horrible speller. I'm a abominable speller. So I just played to my strengths. And I broke the spell. I've broken the spell. I will never be cornered into that little 6th position. So a lot of people are, Freedom Fly has a great word for it. He says they are ultra-crepidarians. Ultra-crepidarianism is people who are nitty-picky, ultra-sensitive to the slightest inaccuracy to spelling. A lot of times I'll say words with like a Portuguese accent or a German accent and they come across as being mispronounced, but I just have a multicultural mind, and I can very easily see the relationships of these words as I've studied language for a lot of my life. So RC also unpacks not only to the R, the Rex King C, King Charles, RXC of the 369, it also unpacks to a whole nother level. And that is the RC is even more simply. Oh, I got off track. I'm going all over at once. It is a 93. R is a 1-8. C is a 3. And that is so close to the lunar standstill. Lunar standstill is 18.6. And I'm not sure how to tweak the C into a 6 to get this to say the 18.6. That would really be fascinating to me. Maybe if you add the crown to it, there's another C up there. You could do something like that to force, shoehorn it. I don't want to shoehorn it, but that would give you the 18.6. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do all that. R is an 18, C is a 3, but the 18 reduces, and it becomes very simply the 9 and the 3. And when you multiply 9.3 times 2, you get 18.6. The lunar standstill code. A lot of people are out there screaming, "It's Rosicrucians! It's Christian Rosenkreuz, the CRC." It's all there. That's all there. You're right. You're not wrong. It is Georgia Guidestones all the way. Rosicrucians. The consistency of it all is quite profound. I'm going to bring forward a graphic that I made as I was brainstorming on this project. I want to also point out how the crown on the top has this this very elaborate M. M means water, it means memory, it means mind control. This is the scythe. This is the scythe of Poseidon. He is holding the Poseidon trident. So we are absolutely going to put King Charles III in the position of the 3, holding the trident. And we're putting Biden as the 9, holding the bident. And we're going to put all of the alphabet agencies, all of the Masonic orders who have gone through their rites of passage, who wear their uniforms and dress up as loyalists, loyal to their costumes all the way to their death. We're going to put them in the position of the 6. Those who are obedient to the commandments, to the amendments of the Amon-Ra. Now, you'll see in my graphic that I've done a lot of things, but I've brought out also the scales. And big up to Davin pointing out that Neptune is not only, the god of the waters and the depths and the seas. He also is rocking the scales. He's aquatic. He's got the scales. And he is in the 11th house. Big up Davin for pointing out that he is in the 11th house, which I believe puts him in, is that Aquarius? It might be Aquarius, which is the age that we're in. That is interesting. Now, I'm in so many places at once. But if we call him by King Charles III, in septenary, that gives you a 3, 3, and a 3. And also the CCP of China in septenary, same cipher, gives you the 3, 3, 3. The full spectrum of the regulatory capture of it all, quite boggling, quite considerably boggling. One more factor here is in what way is Poseidon, well, he's obviously an achiever, an anchovy achiever, and deceitful, but also there's this relationship to this Poseidon to Dionysus, as big up to Davin pointing out that Neptune also relates to the drug trade and intoxicants and intoxication, and experimental mind-altering experiences, going on a pilgrimage into the underworld of the mind and coming back with inspiring, uplifting, phenomenal, next-level discoveries by venturing into the realm of the psi. So this symbol, you'll see that I've equated it to the scales of Libra. Help me out, brain. Come together, brain. Okay, I gotta cheat. What is Libra? Oh, got it. Libra, the scales of Libra. You will see this relationship. See how close it is, right? The scales of Libra. And also, as Davin mentioned, it's also in that 11th house, which I'm pretty sure is Aquarius. But it makes me think of, I can't help but think of Pisces, the water aspect as well. because these are the two zodiac signs that markate the diving into the underworld, going into the bottom half, the darkness, the season of darkness. So we have Libra being a silver symbol, a symbol of silver and metallurgy. So it is like the reflectivity of the water as we're going down into the underworld of the year. And then Pisces has the same thing going on. As we mentioned, Aphrodite, she is transformed into a fish, and she was literally called Silver Feet. So we have silver here and silver over here. So there is a whole lot of silver encoded into this psi. The silver, the salvation, the salvator of he who holds the trident. Now, I looked into what the significance of the psi. We're going to see a lot of psi-ops. The psi-ops. And when you look into the power of the psi, it's too much. It's too much. It's way more than any single person should ever be attributed to. It is utterly fictional beyond imagining. But the weight and depth of the meaning of the psi, it just blew me away. It blew me away. And it's a bit exciting. I have to. It's exciting. This is the last letter in Greek. This is how we know we're dealing with the Qbala. This is the Qbala. This is not the K's and it's not the C's. We are dealing with the Qbalists. This is the Greek, the ultimate of all the Greek letters is the psi. It's the foundation. It's the footprint. It's the down under. It's the down low, the base. Okay, so there are way more phenomenon that are attributed to this single cipher. And when we unpack it, it is just a bit too much. It's a bit too much. But in virology, it signifies the viral packaging signal. So that means all the bullshit of the health industry that just happened has a bit of a, is channeled, is attributed to this symbol. It's claiming, it's staking a claim. It's putting the row, this is the pi row, putting their flag in the dirt. Okay, virology, this symbol is claiming this viral packaging symbol. You can read it in my graphic, hopefully. Also, in computability theory, this is particle physics. They are rocking this symbol. In circadian physiology, it is the phase relationship between the Zeitgeber and the biological rhythm. There's a difference between these two rhythms. I haven't looked up Zeitgeber. That is the giver of sight. And there's way more in there. I'm going to crack that one open later and hope maybe I'll bring it forward. Maybe it'll scare me too much to share. The sight giver is creeping me out because it makes me think of Hera in her relationship to this lunar standstill. And I didn't get to share from my last video how mind blown I was to find out that the 28-degree angle is intrinsic to the lunar standstill. I am totally running out of board here. But the lunar standstill, oh gosh, let's see, can I get it right? There it is. The lunar standstill has an intrinsic 28-degree relationship on the angle of the two cycles. Have this 28-degree relationship. So having Vulcan pinning Hera down, having a challenger, an 8, pinning down the 2, that blew my mind. It blows my mind so much because we're also looking at lead. 82 is the number for lead. So it brings in the fear factor of the 82. And 82 lead gives us confirmation on Saturn. The number of Saturn and the element of lead of Saturn is also encoded in this lunar standstill. Next level, it's next level stuff. In also Saturn's obsession with time. And I'm going to pin some of my own work and my realization that the lunar standstill is encoded in the alphabet with R, S, and T. R is a 18, S is a 19. Add them together, you get a 37, and you divide it by the 2 of the T, and you get 18.5. 37 divided by T, the rest point of the lunar standstill. And when you take the word luna, R-S-T, and still, lunar standstill is standing still in the center of the word lunar standstill. It's so magical. It's encoded in our fucking alphabet. 18 is a moon card. 19 is the sun card. 20 is judgment. It's 2 X's. XX gives you the 6-sided symbol of the hex of the net of the web that we're in. I'm telling you, it's all there. So where did I leave off? Okay. Biblical studies gives us Psalms. In biblical studies, this symbol, the psi, relates to Psalms. And here, now we see where the hidden hand was all along. Look at 333, King Charles III. Look at his hands. He's got tiny little hands because he's tipping the scales. He's tipping the scales. He's not capable of giving very much. He's not a very giving person. He has tiny little hands. Quite the achievement to be so symbolically drenched. All right, in psychology, the psi signifies supernatural subjects such as ESP. Get me going, get me going. In math, it signifies the reciprocal Fibonacci constant and division of polynomials, or division polynomials. Fibonacci, that means little, and fabrication, or maybe a fib, maybe a fiction. Maybe it's just a little bit of fiction goes a long way. Fibonacci. This also relates to February, which hails back to Aquarius. All right, so he's rocking the trident. I'm going to make a very quick erase on all this information. Let me make sure we're running. Yeah, where are we? I don't even know. 20 minutes, all right. Party time, y'all. So we've unpacked King Charles and the 333 of the CCP of the Rosicrucian 93 encoding lunar standstill. So much encoded in that teeny tiny little King Charles III cipher. It's the sigh of fear. We're all supposed to be so terrified when we realize, look at all the meaning. Look at all the meaning. It's so funny. People are starved for meaning. There is a famine for meaning. And when they see it, you know, I think we're supposed to shake in our boots, but I'm not feeling that. I'm just not feeling that. I'm feeling brave as a motherfucker. All right. I'm feeling bold. All right. So I'm going to rip through them. I'm just going to rip through them. We're going to put a bunch of people in their place. I'm going to do my best to explain how and why they got there. So we're going to call him Rex Charles. He is the 963, which is a reversal, by the way. Interesting reversal. And we've got Biden with the Bident up top. So they are hand in hand. The 9 and the 3 of the thelemic do as thou will. Oh, I forgot fucking Aleister Crowley. It's the ILISTERCROWL something, LEY, something like that. So he's also rocking the Aleister Crowley with the 93, the Rosicrucian Order. These guys have passed this torch down for a very long time, and they are sticklers for consistency. Okay, so the deceiver of Aleister Crowley, of the 93 of the Rosicrucian King Charles III code, he takes the position of the 3, and I got to point this out too. 3 on its side. It's also very, there's some homoerotica going on. I smell some homoerotica. Not that I would know what that smells like, okay? Anyway, Biden. Biden is the Bident. He is absolutely rocking the Hades sloth position, the peacemaker. And he's holding that the Bident in one hand and the net in the other hand over here with the 6s and the order followers. Now, I just have to rip through these. I want to give Tulsi Gabbard the throne. I want to put Gabbard as the giver of Hera. I want her to come into that position. I love Tulsi Gabbard, and I think things would get real fucking interesting if we put her in that seat, but that's not where she's at. Tulsi is up here. Tulsi is Athena. She is battle-tested. Tulsi Gabbard is absolutely Athena, and she came from an island that is a volcano. She comes from Hephaestus, Yahweh. The word Hawaii is a reverse phonetic anagram for Hawaii. Hawaii, Yahweh. The old Israelites were worshiping the volcano, and the Phoenicians were big fans of those volcanic islands because that's where all the treasures are, hidden in the sacred volcanic earth. All of the treasures are up here with the earth. All the sacred gems of the breastplate of the ephod. That's where what the high priests wear, HPs. The high priests, they get up to a high location, they wear the sacred stones that they extracted from all the volcanoes, and they commune. So, having Tulsi coming from a volcano, a sacred volcano named Yahweh, is quite balanced. It's quite poetic. But she is going to we're going to put her as the perfectionist. She is Athena. And I don't want to talk about her white streak just yet, but damn, old girl got it going on. She's like Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman. Anybody who saw Wonder Woman, they put that into the consciousness just in time for Tulsi Gabbard to step on the stage. She goes hand in hand. It's quite fascinating. Hera, as of right now, as much as I want Tulsi to take the position of the giver, Tulsi Gabbard, she's making a claim already for this giver position for the number 2. We are dealing with Kamala the heiress, H-E-I-R-E-S-S. She is the heiress in reverse. That is Sarah. And in Hebrew, Sarah means princess. Princess. She is next in line. She is also laughing all the time. She is a Cheshire cat. Cheshire cat, because her little smile is the moon, constantly phasing in and out. The Cheshire cat appearing and disappearing. And she is so funny. She thinks she's so funny. I would accuse her of being Jacob as well. There's a lot of Jacob energy around this Cheshire laughing moon. Joking all the time. All right. RX Charles down here with the 3s holding the trident. Aphrodite with the individual. This is a good one. I'm going to have to dig up a very old graphic from a very long time ago. This is Elon. Elon literally means beautiful, gracefully made Aphrodite in the mask. Elon mask. And this is an amazing fact. The word Elon is immortalized in infamy in the records of history forever and ever as the words that were used by the only person who was prosecuted in the JFK case to describe JFK. I'm drawing a blank on the fella's name. It was a homosexual fella who was working for the agencies in New Orleans. oh, his name is going to escape me. I can't pull it up. But he literally described JFK with the word Elon. And that was a Frenchy French fancy pants flip of the hair when he described JFK as Elon. So I'll bring that definition. It's a very profound word. And yeah, it's got the lion thing kind of going on too. I know that. But yeah, this is the Elon Musk Ultra. Elon Musk Ultra. So we're putting him here as the individual, and his shadow is envy. How many people are just Elon Musk wannabes, you know, following his lead with the Bitcoin bullshit, admiring him like Aphrodite all the way. Over here with Hermes, the message keeper, we're going with Julian Assange. Julian Assange, because they are jailing the messenger. They are jailing the messenger. You don't kill the messenger. You capture them and you torture them, and then they become the message. Julian Assange is the message, and the message is torment. He is held hostage. He is tormented. He is Prometheus on the rocks. I've already talked about this in a lot of places. But this lunar eclipse that just happened, it took place right, big love to Carrie. Big love, Carrie. Carrie, I love you. He played out the role of Prometheus when he was locked in the embassy of Ecuador. He was trapped in the embassy of Ecuador, much like Prometheus, chained to the rocks. In the embassy of Ecuador, the flag has a vulture descending to eat out Prometheus's liver over and over for in perpetuity. Vultura. And this is also intrinsic to the Enneagram. I'm going to go over here. So if this is the spring, the rise of the year, right here at this little marcation, that is where Prometheus is chained to the rocks, bound forever in the cosmos. And when it descends and comes back down at the same exact spot, this is 8/27/27, and it's called Vulturnalia. It's a holiday called Vulturnalia. And they say that it is venerating the river goddess. And there's a whole lot more to that, but it has the word vulture in it. And the vulture is descending and eating Prometheus's liver for eternity, over and over and over and over, forever. 8, Challenger. There's so much more to this. The river goddess is Amazon. And we are summoning this river goddess and venerating her on a whole new level. This has much to do with DMT and the coming of the new Aeon. DMT is Dante. The two spirits took a trip to the mine. Dimethyltryptamine. The two spirits took a trip to the mine. Dante meets Virgil, and they go through a trip through the minds of men. All of that relates to the DMT in Amazon, in the new Aeon. All right, way off track. Hopefully I can bring some of those graphics, because they are way deep in the database. And this is just a hot mess. Look at all this craziness. Look at all this craziness. It just had to come out today, though, didn't it? All right, so next for our loyalists in the position of Apollo with the shadow of Artemis. This is Zuckerborg. This is the Zuckerborg. This is the cube of the Borg. I'm going to bring a graphic forward for this. Zuckerborg. There is so much here. This is a whole episode in itself. Oh, Zucker. In fact, I am going to come back to this. Put a pin in this one, because it's so jammed-packed. That name, Zuckerberg, unpacks into 1,000 dimensions, and none of them are good. All of them relate to Hera. No, not Hera. Juno, one of the wives of Zeus. is the goddess of the city, of the fortress. Her crown is always this crazy city. She is the hive mind. She is the Borg. Resistance is futile. They told you a long time ago. So Zuckerberg takes up this 6 super crucial role. Wrong speak. Anybody who does wrong speak, they've broken the loyalty. They've broken the righteousness of the net of the 10 Commandments. So many things going on with Zuckerberg. His name translates to sugar cube. His name translates to sucker of the sheepskins. There's so much in there. He also looks exactly like H.P. Lovecraft. He looks like a descendant of H.P. Lovecraft, who in his pictures looks like a fucking bloodsucker, a vampire. Hemophilia. Hemophilia means blood lover. Blood lover. It also means like city sucker. He's sucking on the cities. It's also a mountain of sugar. There's a lot of cocaine implications in there. Very powerful, this Apollonian Zuckerberg thing. It's quite far out, quite next level. And now I got to erase and make room. Holy cow, I have so much to say. I'm blowing my own mind. Okay, next is going to be Zeus. Who is Zeus? Who could the Jew Peter possibly be? Could it be obvious enough? Did anybody guess it? Did I have to say it? Putin. He's Putin. Putin. The 10. He's putting the net around everybody. Zeus. Jupiter. Vladimir Putin. I'm not going to lean into that too much, but just imagine, think of all the enthusiasm in the glutton, and think of the territory that is Russia, how vast it is in its location. It is quite fascinating. Last but not least, absolutely positively, no doubt, we're going to put Donald Trump. D-T. Donald Trump. That is a 4 and a 2. 42. 42nd triangular number is 903. Hail to the king. 903. Unhail to the king. Let's say it that way. Let's be careful what we say. Unhail the king. 42nd triangular number is a nod and a wink to the king. You know, Hera was the queen. I should point that out. The princess, Kamala Harris, Kamala is it's actually a 3, funny enough. Kamala is a 3. But in her place previously, was the ever so prideful Queen Elizabeth. She was in this position before, but now Kamala is taking the throne there. So we're going to put DT, Donald Trump, here in Saturn. Donald Trump, every night he ate McDonald's. Mac means son of. Every night Donald Trump ate the son of Donald. And the hair swoosh, the hair swoosh says it all. It really does. But I will also point out that Bill Gates takes this position as well. This Vulcan, this crafty fucker, and his hideous fascination with being an antagonist. Bill Gates, he can't possibly be that stupid. He can't be that stupid, and at what point does stupidity become culpability, utter culpability? And it doesn't matter whether he knows or not, whether he realizes he's in this position. That fool's got to go. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about G8. Let's talk about the Gates. 78 is the number of tarot cards, total tarot cards. 7 times 8 gives you 56, which is the minor arcana. I've done a whole show on Gates's name, the minor arc of the minor arcana. This is Obey Ma, obey the M-A. This is the 41 of, the masculine feminine. It's a holy alchemical wedding, the M and the A. Now, also in 78 was the Jim Jones event where everybody drank the M Kool-Aid Ultra. This is where Al Looks-alike Jones is up here in the challenger position. Al Looks-alike's Jonestown and Jonestown. That's the name of a particular medicine they just put out. The Jonestown and Jonestown quackzine. They are reenacting Jonestown in a major way, and all of the loyalists, all of the sixes, went right along, marching into place. Jim Jones, those fools killed themselves in November 18th. That is down in very near the South Node. So let's do it right. That is right near the South Node, which I'm now realizing is encoded in the symbol for Ophiuchus, which is right there in the neck of the woods of November, very close to the 22nd of November in 1963. Where were you in 63? Wow, what a crazy vision this is. What a crazy vision this is. But we can see, you know, Donald Trump grabbing by the pussy, being a challenger, being very challenging, very lusty, even, you know, talking about his own daughter, all the things about this 8. We got the bill G8, the 7 to the 8, hailing to this Jim Jones ceremony of 1978 that took place on the South Node in November. God, there's so much in here. Each one of these could have been a whole Slick Dissident installation, but I had to get them all out and just point out how all the bases are covered. All of the bases are covered. And some of these positions might get shuffled around, like we saw when Typhon came attacking Olympus. And some of those positions might be predictable. They might be very predictable based on the dynamics of the Enneagram and its ability to predict decision-making and you know, the likelihood of a person integrating or disintegrating depending on some of the very easily controlled factors. So let this be a lesson to you. You know, don't talk to strangers, and definitely don't give out your personal health information. P H I, the phi. A lot of phi. Oh, actually, I think phi, let me get that right. Phi looks like this. That's what phi actually looks like. That is your personal health information. Yeah. Keep it on the private, y'all. Don't be wandering off in the public. You'll get caught up in the net of the 10 Commandments and get recruited into a Zuckerberg ghetto. So let this lift our awareness. Let this give us a deeper understanding of our enemies. And let this take the mask off of the delusions that have been fed to so many people, that so many people are repeating. You know, we are laying waste to the globe theta. This is the globe in theta. Theta, sleep, sleep. Theta state is a sleeping state. Let us wake up our fellow man and let us put an end to this diabolical act. It's time for a new chapter, y'all. Strength and wisdom. Much love.